situation that happened at the BBC Awards and the use of the word nigger. And obviously, this being a history channel, I want to give a historic perspective on it as to why the reactions are going on the way they are, and historically, why the reactions are different. I don't think anyone is upset with Mr. Davidson because of the tick. Now, I don't know how Tourette's works. I don't know if it has to be on your mind and you can't stop saying it. That's not really what I believe the issue is. I believe the issue is the form of the apology. Now, in no way do I want to seem insensitive. Mental health is a huge part of my life. My children, my older brother, members of my family. I have autism in my family. I have bipolar disorder in my family. I have retardation in my family. So this is not insensitive to not only the gentleman's plight, but being in that situation. There are many times I've had to apologize for inappropriate behavior and understand that people don't understand, and their experience is independent of our dilemma, be the dilemma being autism, be it being bipolar disorder, be it being retardation. In situations I had in my life, I found myself having to qualify the situation. This is a result of retardation, not intention. But I completely understand how this has interrupted your reality. And one doesn't excuse the other. The problem that's coming out is the historic issue of silencing Black people. Now, just listen before you get upset. Number one, the BBC took time to bleep out the Free Palestine issue. So that makes us wonder if this person yelled out something about Jewish people, would that stayed in there? Because certain things were taken out, but the Black thing wasn't. Now, also in the American music industry, a very popular song at one time, I know Diddy is not the biggest person to talk about right now, but it was a song called All About the Benjamins. The song said nigger all through the song, but there is a part of the rhyme that says stack chips like Hebrews. That is almost unanimously blocked out of that song. So in the American music industry, you hear young artists hired to use the word nigger, but you don't hear young Jewish people being hired to write songs saying Jewish epithets. And the American music industry for many years, since rock and roll, has had a great influence by executives from Jewish descent. So particularly I'm using Jewish because they said Free Palestine and they blotted free Palestine out. So before you just hear Jewish and get upset, actually listen to the context as to why Judaism is being brought into it. Second, this is Great Britain. They're like the old school of slavery. All right, that's why chattel slavery is in North America, because of Great Britain. And the response to the situation was not, we understand this gentleman's plight and position, and we want to support him. At the same time, we know that this should have offended someone. We're all going to work together to have an understanding of everyone's plight, blah, blah, blah. But they did was said, if you were offended, then we apologize. That is a historic refute or pullback of insensitivity to the Black community. If you were offended. Now, yes, it happened to be said when Black folks was up there. I don't know how Tourette's syndrome works, but no one from the BBC came to those actors and said, I know that was bad timing. We are sorry. Then hours went by when certain things were taken out because of time. Nothing was taken out for the insensitivity to Black folks, but to Jewish people it was. His apology, he can't help the tics, but what he apologized for was, I'm sorry if somebody took my involuntary tics as offensive. Okay, bro, you know what you're working with. Just like I knew what I was working with when I was with my son with autism. I was working with my brother with retardation, or with my daughter with bipolar disorder. I knew what I was working with. So I cannot allow my circumstances to determine your reality or comfort. I didn't mean it, but I understand. And there is no loss. I'm not less supportive of autism or retardation or bipolar disorder because I say I understand completely your reality. And I understand if you don't understand. So I am a huge supporter of mental health. I can't say I'm always surprised, but it is very noticeable to me as a historian that Black people are generally the barometer of social patience and the last to be considered in a situation, because this is making the victim the Tourette's community, as opposed to this was a situation that could have been handled better by people who didn't have Tourette's, and the person with Tourette's really could have had an opportunity to be as understanding as he wishes to be understood. So, that being the case, in the historical context, we know the plights of the Black community. How much we care generally will be illustrated in the form of the apology, the lack of editing, and the sway of how this is being reported, and also by the person who did it themselves. So I believe that an unbiased analysis can be given and sincerely made, where responsibility for our actions, Tourette's or not, is our responsibility as humans. I understand you don't understand. So I'm going to first let you know, I'm sorry. He's more aware of his situation than anybody else. So I hope that here we go again. Here go the Black people getting all upset again in this this post-racial society.